All right, welcome to part 2 of the motec series. So we're gonna load the Indie setup here. And this episode we're gonna focus on getting the right side right height like down, or taking the splitter down to where it needs to be. And then if it's not too long, then we'll start working on the left, but it could be like in another episode. So we'll go ahead and do a lap here. And like, it doesn't need to be like a super fast lap or anything. We just want to get a reading on how the car is doing. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on telemetry here. If you didn't watch the previous video, it's Alt L. So we're just gonna take it easy here. We're not gonna push it too much. All we want to do is get a decent reading. I mean, honestly, the fixed setup this week doesn't feel too bad. Like, I did one lap before starting recording here to be sure I didn't like crash at turn 1. But I mean, I've seen like way worse fixed stuff. Now there are plenty of ways that we can put that splitter down, but we're not going to cover all the ways that we can do that today. We're just going to do whatever we need to do to get it down. Alright, so after we finish 1 and 2 here, we're going to go to the garage. That's plenty. I even did too much there, but I just wanted to get a feel for the set and see how it was doing. Alright, so we're going to go to motec. And then remember, you need to have MU running already. So I loaded the V8 Gen 6 that I had covered in the previous video there, so we're going to keep going with that. And then we're going to open this latest one here. Why isn't it there? Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go at the splitter here. So the red is the left-hand side, blue is the right, and then the yellowish or whatever is the middle of the car. So when you see like the right side, like that's like the skirts up to the front there. So as you can see, like the right side is like really high, like all throughout. Like that's way too high. We're gonna see there. Like it doesn't get low at all. Got like plenty of room. Alright. Well, then we know what we need to do. We need to lower the front. So the first thing I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna lower these pressures because I know they're just too high. We're gonna put that down quite a bit. Like as a general rule of thumb, you always want to try to go like really like. Okay, so aside from super speedways, like you really want to try to get low pressures, but not too low. But I mean, they were way too high. Like they were at 40 something, and the minimum is 23. You know, so we're not going to go right down to the minimum because we don't know what that set is going to do. But I mean, we are going to lower them some. There's no need for them to be that high. Alright, so that's going to change the handling of the car, like, quite a bit. There's a lot of ballast forward and a lot of preload in this. So, we remove the preload, it's going to lower our right. Okay, let's do that. Truck probably failed, yep. Alright, so now we're going to do another lap. Don't forget to turn your telemetry back on. Well, you didn't really need to turn it off originally. I just did it because I couldn't find the file. Personally, I don't like running a set with preload, although depending on who you ask, you could get a different answer. But right now, like my main focus is getting the ride down, and once I got the ride down, I'll start focusing on the handling of the car, whether it's like shocks or whatever it is. It's a lot looser on the rear end now. So it's a good thing as you do this that, you know, like I just noticed that it was a lot looser and a lot less stable. If you can pick up on little things that your car will do like that, it'll help you later. Yeah, it's really loose now. Alright, that's probably good enough. We don't want to spend too much time on laps here. We just want to get readings. Alright, so we'll go ahead and open the next file. This one here. Alright. So you can see removing the preload and lowering the tire pressure. Now the right side is on the center, bottomed out there. Okay. So overall, like the ride heights are starting to get lower, but they're still not where they need to be. We still want to lower that right front some. So, based on this, we could take some packer out. Do 2 clicks of packer. Also, the left needs to come down too. I don't like how it is right there. Our cross weight is 44. Yeah, that's why it was so. Let's let's put the backer back in and raise our cross weight some. Okay. We're still like way too low on cross weight here, I think. The left probably needs to come down some more. And we're basically just like throwing shit at it here and see what sticks. I mean, like, we could probably like fiddle around with shocks and stuff, but who knows how it's gonna be really. We're gonna do another like half lap here. Now, as you get experience with it, I mean, you'll look at a set and you won't go about it this way. Like, you'll know, like, oh, for this track, like, my shocks should be around here, or my car ride height should be around here. Like, you'll have an idea of what it needs to be already, so you'll, you know, start with that. Yeah, the car feels a lot more stable now already. It's a bit tight now. Alright, that's good enough. We're gonna open this one here. Alright. So you can see now, like, how when we started we were like all the way up in the above 1.0, and now we're like hovering around the 0.5, so we're getting it there like pretty fast. Guess we'll have to be careful here because the center of the car is bottoming out in a few places. Oh, well, I guess we're technically in the tri-oval. Yeah. All right. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna remove some ballast out of here, since the front seems to be hovering. So we'll drop it down to 20. That there. I'm gonna do a full lap here to get a clear reading. Since our ride heights are coming to, you know, very near to where we want them. Most important thing when you're doing that kind of stuff is like you don't push it too hard, because you don't want to spend time like redoing your laps because you keep wrecking and stuff like that. Like, setting up a car, like, you'll never be happy with your car. There's always going to be some little tweak or something that you want in the corner. So you want to spend as little time as possible doing like the initial base on it, so you can focus more time on improving your base as you race or as the week goes along. Because, I mean, it's never really done, because like you'll drive the car and then you'll be like, I wish I could turn a little bit more there. You'll play with the shocks, or the springs or whatever. Readjust your ride heights, but then you still have to put it through telemetry to be sure you didn't screw up anything royally. Because sometimes you'll make the springs or the shock springs stiffer. Then all of a sudden your car is not getting down low enough, like, you know, if you make a big jump or whatever. So you've never really done this, so you want to get it down as soon as you can. Alright, after this turn here, we're gonna go to the garage. Okay. So is that 52.6? Yeah, okay. Alright. So let's look at start at lap 7 here. Not too sure. Okay, there we go. Alright. So we can see under braking we got some room to maneuver there. I'm not too sure what that is there, coming out of turn 2 like that big, whatever the hell that was. Yeah. So I really don't know what that is. Like, to be honest with you, I've never seen something like that unless like I'm losing it or something. But the removing the ballast helped, and it didn't really affect the handling of the car. So we'll go ahead and remove a little bit more and lower our ride heights a bit more. Put it down to 12. As you can see, like, it raised our front end a little bit there. I don't really want to use the shocks to lower the ride heights, so we're gonna remove some packer. We'll go a bit overboard here with like 3 clicks on each. I adjusted the preload. You could have left it there, but I just want to raise like the left a little bit, and then we'll see what that does. So as you're playing around with the ride heights, like the spring perch will do like a very small amount. The hacker will do like a bigger amount, and then usually the springs will be like the bigger. So, but generally, if you're like tweaking your ride heights, you want to stay within the spring perches or the packers. Personally, for like doing a base setup like this, I prefer playing with the packers than the spring perch to start with. Oh, okay, it's pushing really hard into it's probably bottoming out there. Like something is bottoming out in that corner now. possibly here as well, so we might have gone too low. Yeah, 'cause if you're doing right heights adjustments and you're low in the car to try to get the splitter, and all of a sudden your car starts pushing like hell, like it's bottoming out. Like that's what's happening. Seem to be okay in this corner. We'll try the corner 2 again here. Alright, it didn't seem too bad. Maybe I just missed the corner last time. Okay. It's starting to get like a lot better. Like a lot closer to where you actually want it. Like if we compare, like this is where we are now. And we started with, was it this one? Yeah. Look how high like this is. And that the left side, like it's constantly lower by a lot. So the car is kind of always like your right hand side is, usually the fixed setups are like that. They're just nice and easy. They don't want you bottoming out and that kind of stuff. So our first lap time was 53. We got down to 52, and this one was a bit slower, but that's because I missed my corner. And so my second, yeah, we're probably in the right direction here. Alright. So at this point, I mean, like, whatever changes that you do are going to be very, very minimal. Because as you can see, like, in the turns, like, your right height is, the right side is a little bit lower. Like, I don't know about, I'm not too sure about the center of the car there. It's bottom up, bottom, it's hitting the bottom, there we go. But it's under braking, but it's like in that turn after, like right here. Like I don't like how close that is. Like under braking for like a short burst, I mean I'm okay with it. But right here, I mean we're right at the start of turn 3, so. And then right, yeah, like when we almost hit the center of 3. And then 4 when we apply the brake, but it's not really bottoming out there. And then down the straights. I mean, honestly, like, I'm pretty satisfied with it right now. Like, once you get it down this much, because obviously you're not done with your setup. Like, you're still gonna play with your tire pressures, your ballast, you know, your springs and that kind of stuff. So that stuff is definitely gonna change. The rear right height, though, is pretty high, I think. I could stand to get lower. But anyway, it's not it's it's not a setup building session. I think this is pretty good for a first episode. I think we got it down a lot, and I don't want to make these like way too long. One doesn't end up watching the whole thing, I think, if they're too long. Alright, so I guess we'll leave it at that for this episode. We've made some progress. I'll save this setup in the next episode. Even if it's next week, I'll keep going with this track just so we can get like a constant thing going. So we can work around. The next episode will probably look like how the tires are heating up and some more right heights adjustments, specifically in the rear. I think we could stand to lower that some a bit. And yeah. All right. Well, if you have any comments or whatever, or maybe you picked up I did something wrong, or like I'm not an expert, and this is obviously like a guide for somebody who doesn't know, never used motec, that kind of stuff. So, but I'm open to suggestions on if I missed stuff or other ideas or whatever. So don't forget to like if you like the video, and subscribe to see some more. Thanks for watching.